The story begins in 1990, where we meet two siblings, Michelle and Chris. Chris is exceptionally bright and, even at a young age, is taking a test that could earn him direct admission to college. After the test, as Michelle and Chris step out, they're stopped by military officers. Chris is wearing a shirt with a Cosmo robot on it, signaling his love for robots. However, in this world, tensions are rising between humans and robots, and wearing such a shirt could be seen as suspicious. The story then shifts to a scientist named Ethan, who harbors a deep hatred for robots. Robots were initially created to assist humans, but when they began malfunctioning, humans discarded them. After years of being mistreated, the robots formed their own alliance, led by a robot named Peanut, to demand respect and equality. This angered the human population, and the threat of war loomed. Eventually, a war broke out between humans and robots. During the conflict, military officer Evans reports that robots are overwhelming humans due to their endurance, and humans are losing the war. To turn the tide, Ethan develops a new technology, neurotech, which allows humans to control robots with their minds. Using neurotech helmets, humans are able to control neurocaster robots, who never tire like the robots they fight against. Within weeks, humans manage to win the war against the robots. After the war, humans agree to imprison the robots rather than destroy them, and the world moves on. Ethan advances neurotech, further enhancing it by allowing humans to control two neurocaster robots simultaneously. The technology becomes widely used, even in schools, and people begin to rely on it in everyday life. Fast forward to 1994, and Michelle is now living with her foster father. At school, all the children use neuro helmets, but Michelle refuses because she values her humanity and doesn't like artificial technology. This causes her to be called into the principal's office, where she's warned that if she doesn't follow the rules, her foster father will be notified. Michelle tells the principal that her entire family died in an accident, and the principal, sympathetic, suggests she try neurotherapy to feel better. Michelle, however, resists. In a flashback, we see Michelle remembering the accident that killed her family. A deer ran in front of her car, causing her to crash. She was seriously injured, but when she woke up in the hospital, a doctor wearing glasses was in front of her. Afterward, Michelle begins to sense a presence in her home, and when she investigates, she discovers a Cosmo robot. The robot reveals it is Chris, her brother, in robotic form, and just as she begins to process this, her foster father attacks the robot. In the chaos, Michelle and the robot escape. Michelle, determined to understand what happened to her brother, asks the Cosmo robot why it claims to be Chris. The robot confirms that Chris's consciousness is inside him. The robot directs Michelle to a doctor who knows about her brother's body. They set out on a journey to find the doctor and uncover the truth. Along the way, Michelle and the Cosmo robot encounter a world where humans are abusing neurotech, using it for pleasure and addiction, leading to societal decay. The Cosmo robot feels sympathy for the suffering humans, even though he was once part of the problem. They meet Evans, a retired military officer who once fought in the robot war. He now illegally sells weapons and is hiding a neurocaster robot of his own. After a tense standoff, Michelle and the robot sneak into his truck, knowing it will lead them to the robot facility. Meanwhile, Michelle's foster father has reported her to the authorities, and Mark, an expert in killing robots, is hired to find and eliminate the Cosmo robot. Evans's house is connected to the robot facility, and when Michelle and the robot arrive, they are confronted by Mark's neurocaster robot. After some conflict, Michelle and the Cosmo robot escape, but they are now being pursued by Mark, who is intent on capturing them. The group encounters more robots, including scavenger robots that repair damaged ones, and Evans's robot Tim, who begins controlling a giant robot to help them escape. During this journey, Michelle discovers that the world's reliance on neurotech has led to widespread destruction. As they reach their destination, Michelle and the Cosmo robot are captured by Dr. Peanut, the leader of the robots. Dr. Peanut reveals that the robots did not want war. They only sought respect. Michelle explains her mission to find the doctor who knows about her brother's body. Dr. Peanut directs her to a safe house where the doctor resides. At the same time, Ethan realizes that his neurotech system is malfunctioning, and he traces the cause to Chris's consciousness being transferred into the Cosmo robot. Ethan sends Mark after Michelle and the robot, promising him a reward for capturing them. Meanwhile, Michelle and the robot continue their quest, eventually arriving at the facility where Chris's body is kept. Dr. Keon, the doctor, reveals that Chris's extraordinary brain power was the key to creating neurotech. However, Chris is not dead, and his brain was kept alive artificially to power the technology. Michelle is heartbroken to learn that her brother was used as a living machine. Chris, inside the Cosmo robot, tells Michelle that the only way to stop the destruction caused by neurotech is for him to die. He urges her to disconnect his brain, as his consciousness is the source of the system. Michelle is reluctant but understands that it's the only way to save the world. Meanwhile, Mark reaches the facility, and a massive battle breaks out between the Neurocaster robots and the remaining robots. Mark fights his way through, but as Michelle prepares to deactivate Chris's brain, she is confronted by Ethan. Ethan explains that he used Chris's brain to create neurotech, which saved humanity. He refuses to let Michelle destroy it, but Michelle, with the help of the Cosmo robot and Dr. Peanut, makes her choice. She disconnects Chris, ending the system and stopping the destruction. With the neurotech system shut down, the robots stop fighting, and humanity is freed from its dependence on technology. In the aftermath, Michelle's actions lead to Ethan being arrested, and she delivers a powerful speech to the world. She speaks about the importance of human connection and the dangers of relying too heavily on technology. The world begins to heal, and the future remains uncertain but hopeful. In the final scenes, Michelle's speech resonates worldwide, and Evans, having witnessed the destruction of his robot Tim, realizes the true cost of war and technology. As Michelle continues to speak, a dead Cosmo robot is seen rising, revealing that Chris's consciousness still exists within it. The story ends with the possibility of a new beginning.